take a year off drinking and smoking, put all that cash into something, and then put that into real estate? What do you find is working on the marketing side?
On the marketing?
Yeah.
Just consistent, non-stop exposure.
Yeah.
Like when I'm posting, like this listing, I just dropped the price again, right under 2. And the offer I have on it right now is because I just kept posting on Instagram. New price. This is the last piece of waterfront in Toronto that's being developed.
Really?
There's no more.
In this episode of Estates, Entrepreneurs, and Expressos, I drive around downtown Toronto with the one and only Matt Campoli, host of the national Price to Sell podcast. Matt Campoli has rocketed to success and fame by interviewing and asking questions to some of the brightest minds in real estate on his show. In this episode, we get to take him on our show and pick his brain and also discover his growth journey, what he's learned, where he's going, and he gives us some very interesting insights into Toronto real estate. This show is specifically geared towards real estate agents, entrepreneurs, and creators looking to make more money and feel less overwhelmed. The full video podcast is available on YouTube, but for your listening pleasure, we are syndicated across all podcasting platforms. A special shout out goes to Stuart Clappin from the Prime Nation community. Stuart's a fantastic agent who is an ambassador at the Buzz Conference and left a review saying, "Great podcast, very informative. I really enjoyed listening to your podcast." He says a bunch of other stuff too, but I'm not going to read it here because I want to get right to the content. But if you would like to be a featured member of the Prime Nation community, head over to Apple or Spotify or YouTube and leave a rating, review, or comment. We appreciate you, and we will draw a gift every month and give the gift of knowledge to one of our Prime Nation members. Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to the episode.
I enjoyed the teaching. I enjoyed the mentoring. Right?
Well, if I look at all the knowledge that you've been gathering for the last, how long has the Price to Sell been around?
2 years.
2 years. So, I mean, yeah. How many, like, what's your cadence? Like, how many episodes did you do a year?
52.
52. So it was one a week every single week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure. I've been testing different things. I don't know if you've seen me do live streams.
No.
I've done different things with the pod.
Yeah.
Because it's gotten a little stale.
Yeah.
Like, how many agents can I interview and talk about business?
It's funny. So somebody said this to me recently. It's going to be stale more for you than it is for the audience. Because you're the person doing the interviewing and you're in this search for knowledge. So if you're like, you're in the same place that I am, right? Where like I ran the Prime People podcast since 2015, 16.
Yeah.
And I always just did it for fun, like interview people that I like that are doing cool stuff, a little all over the place with it. Got really zoned in last year. I kind of don't want to do any more virtual ones. I only want it in person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what launched this show.
Yes.
I was actually talking to Hutch randomly, and the idea just came up, and like, that's actually fantastic because I could get belly to belly with people, see their world. And it's a different kind of thing, right? So I think part of you might be searching for like, how do you inject new life into something that you're a black belt on now?
Yeah.
Right? Because you put in the reps.
Yeah.
Because you want to grow, you want to evolve. Which
exactly.
is the journey, right?
Yeah. No, it's interesting. It is interesting. Yeah. I think the podcast. I just come to the conclusion that it's not gonna like. Well, I won't cap myself, but it's a foundational thing. It's an everyday thing.
Yeah.
It helps build and complement everything else I'm doing.
For sure.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I don't need to like get stressed on the fact that is this ever gonna blow up and be like hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah.
It may never get there.
Sure.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So
it has its place in the overall ecosystem of what you're doing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We brought on some talent to help, like me, Cash Lavi. You ever see have you seen my skits?
I'm looking them up. Yes, I've seen your skits.
With the Persian realtor?
Is it Kash?
Yeah.
Cash Alvi. Yeah. Here we go. Cash, I heard you're the man.
Yeah, so.
Oh, that's jokes.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
I've seen him in your stuff before.
Yeah, so he's just hilarious. We just vibed, and I'm like, why don't you come on under the umbrella of Price to Sell as like talent, and we'll house the skits and everything we do under the brand. Mm-hmm. So it's just become more of a media.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of how we're rolling with it now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a media outlet. We have this girl Tara. She's out there doing street interviews.
Yeah.
In like Miami. She's going to Dubai. House them to the.
You're in Toronto too, which is the easiest place to always find interesting people. You walk outside with a microphone.
We want to go to King Street.
Yeah.
At like 3 a.m. and just go up to random drunk people and be like, how much do you just drop on booth and bottles right now?
Yeah.
$5,000? Sick. Do you own real estate? Cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's funny when you think about that, right? Every week.
Yeah.
$20,000 a month. Put that in a put that in a kitty. Decide to just take the week off. Or take a year off drinking and smoking, put all that cash into something, and then put that into real estate. It's funny, I was talking to investor girl Britt yesterday, and I met her when she like started when she had 0 followers.
Mm-hmm.
She came to an investor summit with Scott and the crew, and she just did it. Like she was doing everything herself. Took like 20 grand and then turned it into 40, and then 40 grand, 75 grand, and it's amazing to see what she's done over the years.
What kind of investing?
All real estate investing. She's doing storage facilities now.
Oh, cool.
I'll get her to connect with you. She's a monster. So here, I'll show you. That's her account.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So and like what she made her way, I'll show you how she actually did it. Was actually just doing hyperlapses of her doing the work. I wonder if she has any video. Yeah, so she would do these videos. So she would actually do the renos herself.
Oh.
She would hyperlapse the whole thing. But she would do the rental. She did flooring, she did the paint, she did everything, and then she would just re-up, like take the cash out, refinance the property, buy another one, build a portfolio.
Interesting. It's every year in the distillery. That's
Okay.
correct. They do the Christmas market.
Oh, I've seen
Yeah.
photos of that.
The big
online.
hearts right here, where everyone proposes and stuff.
Are you trying to tell me something? You bringing me here for a reason?
This might be a whole setup.
You are capping off one of my favorite work seasons I've ever had.
Oh,
so
yeah?
This is my last day, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna try and just work remotely from home, staycation, holidays.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and you just get back from Mexico?
Last week, yeah, last Thursday night. Real estate over there is interesting too.
I saw you looking at lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Cruising around.
Oh yeah.
Any interesting projects?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like there's no bank financing, so it's all cash.
Okay. Do you have expats by down there?
Yeah, all kinds.
No problem. Like.
No problem, man. Super safe, and it's a mixed community.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hard. Like the investor mindset kicks in. It's like I can't leverage my money.
It's
all
hard.
cash.
Yeah.
So
it's tough. Like so when we invest, we like buying very passive stuff and land that is going to be worth something to us in an area we know.
yes.
And we've thought about that from vacationing and going different places. It's so tough because you want your money to work for you, but other times it's like maybe I'll just spend the money on a vacation, and then not necessarily have it tied up in a non-liquid place, right?
Like what's an example?
So like when it happened, we were like, okay, let's buy an Airbnb in every single place we like to travel because we're going to be traveling a lot more. Like we're going to go to other places, right? But when we looked at the tax issues, we looked at management and everything else too. We decided like, let's leave the main thing. Like we have a great referral network in those areas. We still shoot content, send a lot of referral business in those areas, but we don't need to actually own short-term rentals in all those places because we're not short-term rental investors. That's just not our jam, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
Well, hey man, I might swap my Florida investment
For Mexico.
No, just in Florida, but for passive long term.
Oh, okay.
Because I have the short term investment there right now, Fort Lauderdale, my house.
Oh yeah.
But it's so saturated. Because Toronto does super well. Like mine over here does it great because there's so much red tape.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of rules and regulations. So number one, scares a lot of people from wanting to get into that investment, and you're capped to only one per person because you have to claim it under your primary, right?
Interesting.
So it's hard to scale. So it's not like you have guys that own, 10 to 20. Although there are loopholes and people do figure out a way to get around it to scale to maybe even like 3, 4. Yeah. So the number of competing Airbnbs that we were experiencing pre-COVID to now has dropped significantly. So the returns are actually amazing still. And but in Florida, it's open season. You can Airbnb
anything
at any time with anything. Yeah. So the competition was just crazy. And we don't have a pool, so that makes a difference. So we haven't seen the best numbers, truly. But we might, we still built equity. So we might just pull the plug, take our money out and get into multifamily down there.
Might make more sense.
Because multifamily is nice down there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was reading on opportunity zones going into the next phase of the market, right? I think Florida had a nice bull run, so did Texas, a few other places, obviously, when people started migrating. I think that's flattened out a little bit now. And if you have the equity, multifamily was at the top of the list. They were saying multifamily commercial retail nodes that serve a purpose. So if you have a commercial plaza that serves a specific community of houses, you're gonna have a very good ROI on that. So like we're finding opportunities in commercial in Ontario, anyways, right? Because it's not as many people looking.
Yeah.
You need a lot more capital to do those projects. So. And multifamily in Ontario, anyways, the only challenge about here is you can't get them financed.
Yeah.
Because what it's worth on paper is not what it's worth to a bank, right? Because the rents are usually not where they need to be, and repositioning the building. If you have cash, you're in good shape, but still building. Everybody's saying the market's dead, but it seems like lots of stuff still happening.
Lots of receivership too.
Lots, yeah, big projects, right?
Yeah. Lots of those. People are losing their shirts on assignments.
Yeah. They're walking away from assignments too, right?
Yeah, or just if it's a freehold, they're gonna burn it down.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah.
The amount of projects you've seen, all of a sudden, I'm like, I understand restaurant fires. That's always been a thing for a very long time. But it's getting a little bit crazy out there.
I know. Yeah, it's pretty interesting what people are doing. The pre-con game is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I built that entire pre-con brand. I have like 4 partners.
Okay.
And we are strictly focusing on freeholds in Vaughan and York region.
Okay.
Yeah, the condos are, it's interesting. A lot of realtors may hate on me right now, but
you'll see a lot of end users in Vaughan in those areas too. Right?
oh
like
yeah, my network is there. I grew up there.
They're always gonna
Yeah, so as soon as we post any project in Vaughan, like we're getting hit up like crazy. My partners are also from there.
Okay.
So it just made the most sense. Our entire network is there, and we have really good connection with the builders.
Okay.
As well. So it just makes the most sense.
And do you find like the people buying them, are they investors primarily, or are they still people
more end users?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot within our own network too, which is good. And there's less competition in the freehold pre-con space.
Yeah.
Downtown Toronto condo space for pre-con, competing with other agents, it's insane.
Yeah, because that wasn't really a thing before platinum brokers became a thing, and then everybody became a platinum broker.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have the access. It's just the amount of money you got to spend to compete.
To compete, sorry, the money you got to spend to compete,
like your marketing
to maintain
money.
the access. Oh,
no, not for access to acquire, like to fight for those leads, right?
Oh, okay.
So I've had a lot more success in the freehold space because there's less competition, and so it just makes more sense.
Yeah,
less money out, more results.
It's like anything else, right? It's like the podcasting game or content game or anything else too. Once the cat's out of the bag, real estate agents ruin everything in terms of marketing, right? Yeah. Everybody goes and does one thing, and then that's the new solution, and everybody jumps on that bandwagon. And it's a matter of, I was talking to somebody else recently about the podcasting space, period. And one of the reasons we wanted to do this was like, oh, hey, join Matt Campoli. Like it's because the reason is I find that the amount of podcasts that I've seen that are just 2 mics and 2 people, and they're all short form clips or ubiquitous conversations, people get desensitized to that, and they're conditioned to, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to watch, and then they don't actually pay attention, right? So
that's why we're doing our shift as well.
Yeah, different's better than better. I've always thought that way. I've always tried to be countercultural, and people disagree with me.
I love this
all the
idea
time,
that you're doing. I love this.
But no, a lot of the people that we jam with, even Taylor, like, so you know what he's doing with his team? He's gamifying it so it feels like Modern Warfare. Oh. So he's basically creating prestige modes or like unlock levels for his team. So if they hit a certain level of production, they get certain rewards and certain attachments to their gun, right? Like that's how he looks at it. So I like getting around people like that, because then I take ideas that he had, bring it back to what we do, and bolt stuff on. And,
interesting.
Yeah, like Glenda, her gifting is like insane. How she actually gifts to her people in her sphere.
It's Glenda Baker, right?
Glenda Baker.
She's on TikTok. Yeah, on TikTok, right?
Huge on TikTok.
Yeah, that's where I know the name.
Massive. Yeah. But like
New York.
Atlanta.
Okay.
She sold 21 Savage's house. She sells all the Hawks. Like, she's the girl in that area. Legit though, one of the best real estate agents I've ever met at being an actual real estate agent. Okay. And her gifting, for example, will blow your mind in terms of how good she is at buying people food and gifts.
Closing gifts?
Beyond.
See, that's the one thing I haven't like streamlined, because my gifts are great because I will literally, I get to know the client, I get to know the closest people to them, the son, the daughter, and I always ask, like, what would they actually value and enjoy? So, like, one of my most recent closings, I'm buying them a night in Niagara Falls with a dinner on me. Nights on me, dinner on me. Like the experiences, I like to do that.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's hard to keep that up.
With scale. Yeah.
You know?
So, like, come in the room one day, and literally, well, next time you pop in, I'll pull you up, the mod you, and introduce you to everybody. And I will make you ask Glenda the question, hey, Glenda, if I want to level up my gifting, what would I do? And just let her riff for 20 minutes.
Sick.
And she'll tell you everything. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Do you do gifting?
I do. Well, so I do through my EAs, my executive assistant team.
Yeah.
I wish I had more capacity to be more personalized with it. I do experiences.
Yes.
So my AAA clients, I'll take them fly fishing, we'll go paddle boarding, we'll ride jet skis for the day. Like, I'll have them up for dinner, and it's like, there's certain, Ryan Soren actually just put a video out about this, and he was like, you have your inner circle, which is your board of advisors, which is your, like, probably 5 or 6 people who are the closest to you. And then you have your network, which is comprised of, like, probably the agents that work for you, your partners, your AAA clients. Then you have your community, which is a layer lower from that. Then you have your audience.
Yeah.
And then there's the rest of humanity. And the idea is taking the rest of humanity and putting them into the audience and seeing, do they belong in the community?
Yeah.
Oh, is this somebody that's going to be in my inner circle and network?
Yeah.
And devising it that
with
way,
clients.
Right? With everybody. Like, you're, to me, somebody that's in my network.
Yeah.
Where if you're like, I need a favor, I got you.
Yeah.
There's people that are, I guess, in my community that, like, if they ask me that initially, I'd yellow light it because the relationship hasn't been built to that point yet. Maybe they can be somebody that goes from my community to my network. Yeah. And there's people in my network that have gone from my network to my community because we're just maybe not in alignment, right? So that thought, though, is what Glenda extrapolates with her clientele of moving people throughout her community and taking care of them in different ways.
Interesting.
Right? So,
and that's what my coach taught me too, actually, very similar.
Really?
Like ranking them A, B, C, or D. Like my close, like my clients, people I transacted with. And then the A's, like the AAAs, are going to get different treatment, different client experiences, events, all that stuff.
Yeah, smart.
In regards to working the database. So I'm implementing all that in 2024. So I haven't even done that yet.
Yeah. But you got the database all set up and the system set up.
Yeah, it's ready to go. Right? Actually, we sent an email out today. We're starting off with a nice little holiday giveaway. Okay. For the AAAs. The database. Yeah. Just the clients. And then we also let them know in the same email that to expect, events, giveaways, more of an experience this year. Yeah. So I'll see all the responses. Yeah, the belly-to-belly experiences are huge. We did that with our investor network, and it worked very well. So we do typically 4 a year, where we would get a mastermind together, bring in our investor community, but like no pitching, no selling. It's more about, I want you to meet you to meet you to meet you. Yeah. You guys will make millions together, and when you need real estate, you know exactly who you're gonna call, right? Like it all happens by proximity. And those were some of our most successful events last year. Was the mastermind. Nice. Yeah. And then for this, actually, so I think I said to you, there's 2 versions of this show that we're doing. There's this version. I didn't tell you the other one, did I? No. So remember last year, I think I sent you a message about the Prime Invitational. I kept trying to do these invitationals. But everybody's busy, life's happening, whatever. I'm probably going to run this once a month in my territory at one of our baller listings, but do like invite only, very closed group masterminds, and then shoot an episode of this with like 1 or 2 of the guests. So like name out of the hat, whatever. If you're making the time to come down here, we'll go the extra mile and do a content shoot for you the same day. And then go visit 2 of my other listings. So Agents and Cars Drinking Coffee, at masterminding at one listing, talking about systems, talking about gifting, talking about splits, team leadership, like whatever, with a very hand-selected network of people, if that makes sense. So not open to the public at all. Interesting. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I would come. I think it'd be fun, right? Because if I get people like speaking at Buzz in February, I'm trying to get 2 agents from the States that are just absolute killers down for it, then I would try and line it up with that so they come a day early. Maybe do a quick little mastermind, go do the thing at Buzz, and then that way they're here for the same reason. It's the scheduling that's the hardest part in this world, right? For sure. We do an event. So last year we did one called Path to Profit. Whipped it up in 2 weeks. I literally have my boy Nick.
In Florida.
No, here.
Okay. Spark.
Yeah, Spark.
Financial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know him. He looks
Best guy ever.
Yeah.
He
looks like
you would have a boss of them, man.
He looks like a beauty.
I could set it up, man.
Yeah.
You guys, we should all connect.
He's got the best accent ever.
Yes.
When I listen to him talk, he reminds me of
Straight
my boys
Italian.
back home.
Yeah, straight Italian. He's a wizard, man. He used to run a bunch of clubs downtown.
Okay.
Used to be in that space, and then totally shifted into
mortgages.
Yeah. Well, he has many different verticals actually.
Okay.
But his hospitality background allows him to build a crazy culture.
Interesting.
Like what he's built with Spark Financial, it's like in that short amount of time, like I've never seen that.
What is Spark Financial exactly?
It's a mortgage brokerage.
Okay.
But then they have different verticals. So they have
they do financial advisory as well as mortgages?
No, just mortgages. Then they have Fluent Capital, so it's a fund.
Private. Okay.
Privates. Yeah. So they just launched that. What else they got on the go? They have an insurance arm.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple different things going on.
Interesting.
Yeah, but so we whipped up that event in 2 weeks. I went to him and I said, hey, let's do a webinar.
Yeah.
We had like 50 people online and just talk about investing in Florida. And him being the way he is, like, no, let's go to a restaurant and host an event. And then his restaurant ended up being the Venetian, which is a huge hall in Vaughan. So he hires on a full-on event coordinator, Pino, who's a beauty. And we end up selling 700 tickets for an Investing in Florida event, flying in realtors from Florida.
Wow. To
talk.
Who came down from Florida?
This guy DeWood, based in Orlando.
I know DeWood.
You know DeWood?
Super well.
He's the guy.
He's hilarious.
Best guy ever.
Yeah.
So DeWood came. This guy Killian from Miami.
Yeah.
We had Steve Zalinardo, who's local here but has his license in Naples.
Yeah, interesting.
So his brokerage out there. He spoke on the West Coast. And we had this guy Wolfgang,
never heard of him.
big commercial agent in Miami.
Interesting.
He sounds like his name.
Yeah.
That's how he speaks.
Interesting.
Like he's Austrian.
Yeah.
So the accent very strong, but he's
probably
notable.
A good
like
personality to have in Miami, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Those characters down there.
So they all came and spoke, and it was good. We spoke on different types of investing, but this year we're gonna do it again. So I was asking because we're looking for good speakers. And I was thinking of you right now.
Yeah.
Big collab.
I'll see if I can help in some capacity. I think I'm speaking to actual tactical investing in Florida. I'd leave that to like the Florida agents.
Yeah.
I should connect you with Holly Meyer Lucas out of Jupiter, Florida. She's a monster. Her husband's in the MLB. She just launched a new marketing firm. She kills it in Jupiter, Florida. You'll like her a lot.
Okay.
So I would say she's somebody you should connect
because we want to activate actual product for people to buy there.
Yeah.
We're going to bring the developers there.
Sure.
So, yeah, interesting. Okay. I got to introduce you to Nick regardless. So
yeah, 100%.
He'll probably have you on his podcast too. You should do this with
Nick
him.
Regina. I will. Because you can't be an expert at everything. That's the tricky part, right? So you talk about aligning yourself with different partnerships with people that do things and they love what they do in different areas. It's you being a part of it, right? So when I see you going to Tulum, I see you going to Florida, doing things here, like you can be an expert at what you do and still find alignment with other people who are experts at what they do, right?
That was a big learning curve for me this year.
Yeah.
Was it's not how, but who, you know, like that book, Dan Sullivan.
Yeah.
So that's why I've just strategically partnered in many different things. Even the pre-con, I have 4 partners. One guy is an absolute wizard in the back end. He's like a Hermosi.
Okay. Funnel,
he's just
systems.
A ghost. Yeah. He's a ghost. That's all he wants to do. He's a realtor too, but he doesn't want to sell.
Interesting.
Me and my other 2 buddies, great at sales.
So you'll get the phone calls and they're already conditioned by it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The fully automated funnel, text, everything. So he's really good at that. And so we said, you know what? There's a lot of money to be made in pre-con. Divided 4 ways is still enough to eat.
Yeah.
Versus trying to do that myself. So my energy into that is limited.
Yeah.
Still focus on my main thing, which is my biggest thing, and is just building my brand, man.
Yeah. Personal brand.
It just works the best for me. That's it. Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. Even like my GCI is organic and consistent because of that. All the other verticals are just building in the background.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at.
And you find on that side of things, do you divide like time allocated between the podcast and actually selling and then managing the other businesses?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. The selling's always going down.
Yeah.
And I'm all listings, which is good too, because I'm not really out in the field taking buyers out. which is nice. So I enjoy the listing side. My strengths are in the marketing.
You know your product too, right?
I know my product. A lot of my listings are in Vaughn.
Yeah. What do you find is working on the marketing side?
On the marketing?
Yeah.
Just consistent, non-stop exposure.
Yeah.
Like when I'm posting, like this listing, I just dropped the price again, right under 2, and the offer I have on it right now is because I just kept posting on Instagram. New price.
So posting stills, like in feed or
Stories. And the agent who saw it, who brought me the offer, was already looking for his client for a long time, and he missed it. And because I posted the realtor link on my story, he clicked it.
Smart.
And he's like, oh, this worked for them. Sent it to them. They actually liked it. They gave me an offer.
The reason I ask is we were looking at our 16-week marketing plan and like, what are we doing for each listing during that 16-week plan? Because I almost find that the stuff can get lost in the sauce in terms of properties and
it's true,
like updates on properties. And
it's
people
true.
Seeing it, you literally need to be right in front of somebody's face to get a deal done these days.
Yeah, you do it like me last year, or like in a better market. It's like, okay, I have my initial listing video intro.
It's gone in 7 days.
Just listed, right? Post my still carousel, which I promote on, I boost with ad spend.
Yeah.
And that's it. Then I'm done. But now
sold. Yeah.
Things are sitting, so it's like that initial marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Man, you're done. So what I'm doing is, right for this listing, I booked a whole new listing shoot.
Interesting. Yeah, so we do them depends on the property. For like ultra luxury properties, typically every 60 to 90 days, we're doing a whole brand new shoot.
Yeah,
because the weather's changed. It's a different time. You need to change the marketing. I love that you're doing that.
Yeah.
It was the other reason I thought of the masterminds. Was like, how do I sell ultra luxury properties in our area? I get guys like you and Salerno and all the people to come hang out. Mastermind, give you a reason to come.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, I'm also getting more exposure on the property, right? Like, what else can I plug into my plan that's going to help generate more activity?
Yeah, man. Have the influencers come through.
Yeah.
So this is called a P1.
Okay.
It's essentially parking number 1, level 1.
Okay. Yeah.
Where you park.
That's good.
What is
a P2?
P2 is like a lower version of a P1.
Oh, okay.
It's underneath the P1.
Different price point?
Yeah. So see,
this is a proper Toronto lockbox.
if you guys see, I put yellow tape on my lockboxes.
Smart.
And it's not just black lockbox. When you get your instructions, you get proper instructions.
How many of these do you think are active listings?
4.
I
don't know. It could be rentals and stuff like that. This lockbox wall is not even bad. Like there's some condos down here.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
It's like
a couple hundred lockboxes.
man, they're all black.
Yeah.
There's no
No
nothing
instructions, no tape.
nothing to separate them. But yeah, so the amenities are shared. They're all in there.
Okay.
There's 2 towers, South Tower, North Tower. South Tower's more private.
Nice.
It's better because I live there.
Okay.
Yeah.
10% more expensive because you live
Because
there?
I live there, yeah. As soon as I move, the value's gonna drop.
So unit 222
222, this
at
is,
$2 million?
no, it's actually 1.998.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So why don't you show me what $2
Save a
million
little bit.
gets us in Toronto, right by the water?
Of course, so, I get these lights actually. Oh, and there's lights. There we go. So this is 55 Merchants Wharf. It's right on the East Bay front,
Okay.
part of Toronto. So
What's
COA,
East Bayfront?
this area, this little
Okay.
pocket of waterfront.
Interesting.
So you got the West Harbor Front or like east,
Okay.
right? So the harbor Front's right here.
Yeah.
The boats dock here. You got the nice boardwalks. So this is a waterfront unit because it's literally facing the water.
Nice little office setup here.
Yeah, it's 1,305 square feet.
Yeah.
2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms.
Interesting.
2 bedroom plus den, right?
Oh, you got a full water view.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
Jeez.
So in the daytime, obviously it's like super nice, but you're gonna get, it's not all unobstructed. So this is like, they're not building south of us, but they're doing some stuff this summer with the scuba dive guys, but not sure what they're doing. But yeah, so true unobstructed water views. This is the last piece of waterfront in Toronto that's being developed.
Really?
There's no more to be used at. This is it. This is the newest waterfront.
It's the level's really nice too. Like waterfront value too from a condo. Like if this condo was facing inward, is it a $200,000 premium,
It's
$500,000
like
premium?
I'd say about 200.
Yeah, makes
Because a similar unit just sold for just under 1.8 with more of a north view.
Yeah.
So this also comes with 2 parking spots. That adds value.
Parking spots, what, 50 grand a spot?
I'd say resale.
Yeah.
Yeah, not pre-con. Pre-con, you're like 120, 150 right now.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but resale, resale's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, premium finishes, Tridel. So this is one of their signature suites. So 10-foot ceilings, 8-foot doors.
Nice.
So it's like you're in a house.
Yeah, it does feel like that. And actually, the corner unit here, just having that view of that little runway there is pretty awesome.
Lots of light. So the sun rises there,
Yeah.
because that's east.
So
So
you
you
get
get
sunrise.
all sun all day. And the moon chills over there too.
Huh.
So you can look at the moon at nighttime.
Really cool.
Yeah,
Really cool.
if you want to like make more magic wishes and stuff. I'll take you to the terrace now, actually. So it comes with a gas line.
Woo, here we go.
So this is one of the few terraced units. Not all of them have terraces.
Oh, this is pretty.
Yeah.
It's a legit, like,
Does this
good
feel like you're
space.
in the city?
Not at all.
Like you're right downtown,
Not at all.
right?
I could fish there.
Yeah. Yeah, I always joke around like you can throw a diving board here and just like jump in.
That's awesome.
But it's super chill.
Cool.
Well, there you have it. I definitely got some ideas from this episode from Matt, some potential collaboration. Definitely looking to have Nick Regina on the podcast. Since I shot this episode with Matt, I actually spoke with Nick and got to interview him live at the Buzz Conference. Special shout out to Virginia Mudden and the whole Buzz family, and looking forward to that collaboration. If you have any guests that you think should be on this show, send me a DM, leave a comment on the YouTube video. I answer those myself. And again, if you'd like to be a featured member of the Prime Nation community, get a shout out, or potentially win our monthly gift, make sure to leave a rating or review on any of the podcasting platforms. We appreciate you so much. We do this for you, and we'll catch you on the next one.